John Molyneux has been living with prostate cancer since 2004. When he was diagnosed, he was away on business. He called his doctor for test results.
And I called his office, and I wasn't there. And I got one of his partners on the phone and said I had this biopsy. And he said, well, you really got to come in and see the doctor. And I said, I'm in England, I was supposed to call now. He said, just tell me the news. And he said, well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you have cancer. I was standing outside a hotel with my cell phone in my hand, and I thought, wow. I said, I've been on this planet for 54 years. This is the first bad hand I've been dealt. That's a pretty good run.
John's daughter, Kimberly, remembers the diagnosis.
It's hard to hear that your dad has cancer, but he was unbelievably calm about the whole thing, and he decided to get knowledge as a way of dealing with it.
I scoured everything. I read 3 or 4 books in the space of about 2 weeks. I read everything I could find on the internet and just did it as much as I could. And I came to the conclusion that I wanted to have surgery and have my prostate removed.
Following the surgery, John received more troubling news from his doctor.
I had cancer cells right on the edge of my prostate. That's not a good sign. There was no evidence that it had actually gotten out of the prostate, but it was certainly to the boundary, and that's a risk factor for recurrence.
So the plan was to monitor John's prostate-specific antigen level, or PSA level, aggressively. PSA is a protein produced by cells of the prostate gland. A PSA test measures the level of PSA in the blood. It's been approved by the FDA as a way of spotting recurrence in a patient with a history of prostate cancer.
At about 6 months after my surgery, my PSA started rising, and it started rising fairly quickly, and that is a sign that the cancer needed further work done on it. You tend to bounce around emotionally, like, well, everything's going to be fine. Denial is a wonderful thing. Everything's going to be fine, and then you go, oh, I'm going to die, and you bounce back and forth on that. At least I did.
John decided to start hormone therapy.
I became a menopausal woman. I had hot flashes. I became moody. I could cry at the drop of a hat.
While the side effects were less than desirable, John's PSA level was reacting.
It dropped down to undetectable right away. I stayed on hormonal therapy for 9 months, and it took another 6 or 7 months after that for me to fully recover from the hormonal therapy.
Since going off of hormone therapy, John's PSA is once again rising.
It's growing at a rate that isn't an issue right now. It could be an issue a year from now, it could be an issue 2 years from now, but it's not an issue today.
For now, John is taking control of his health. He's on a maintenance drug, numerous supplements, and he's adopted a special diet. He even charts his own PSA level.
This column here is a listing of all my PSA readings that have been done really since the time I was diagnosed. This is my body, this is my life. I will make the decisions. I will seek input from doctors that I value, but I'm taking charge of this.
About 2 months after our initial meeting with John, we caught up with him again at his home.
Hey, John.
Hi, Kira. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very well. Come on in.
Thank you.
Since our last visit, John received the results from another PSA test. His levels remained the same.
It's infinitely better than rising. So it will rise again sometime in the future. I know that for sure, but I'll take the holiday for as long as I can get it.
On this day, John received a visit from his daughter and granddaughters. It's these moments he now cherishes.
There's something very, very sobering when you realize this is not a dress rehearsal. When you realize that you only get one chance at this, and you really have to make life count. Sunsets are fun. People are more enjoyable than they have ever been, and you learn to value the moments.
It's been really actually neat to see. He's very family focused, very much in love with his grandchildren, and has a zest and a passion for life.
Although John is still living with cancer today, he doesn't plan to take a back seat to the disease.
When I was first diagnosed, and I was standing there with my thoughts in England, unable to talk to anybody, I said, I need a goal. I'm very goal-oriented, and one of the things that I focused on was I want to watch my granddaughter walk down the aisle. So, and she's now 9, so I'm expecting to be here a good long time.